Well, hello, this is your man JC from Real and Simulated Wars, Command Modern Operations today, and this is all because I have been reading this fantastic book about the Tu-22 Blinder, a Cold War era aircraft and an attack aircraft, massive beast equipped with, state-of-the-art engines by that time. And this is at the peak of the Cold War in the 1980s. In particular, this book, as any book about the aircraft, just goes into the many evolutions, the design, the use, and all the particulars of how this aircraft was used by different air forces of the Warsaw Pact. But nonetheless, very interestingly, this book has a chapter dedicated to the tactical use of the Tu-22, and that is quite remarkable. It is quite an extensive chapter that shows you, one thing that I didn't know, it is the massive formations that the Soviets have intended to use this aircraft at. I am showing here this particular diagram. I've seen it a couple of times in the past in some other publications, that this is a regiment sized aircraft formation. You see the massive amount of aircraft. It is just one of the formations that they used to use. I see a lot of experimentation, a lot of flexibility, and in particular I just want to show you this other diagram, also from the book, that this surprised me, because I saw something very similar to this in Milan Vego's Soviet Naval Tactics or something like that. That thing, it is in the book. It is one of the last chapters in Milan Vego's book. And as you can see, the profile, in this profile, each aircraft icon represents 4, we just call it a section of aircraft. And you see how they break into sections, and you have a first wave of 8 aircraft, a second wave of 8, and a third wave of 8. That's a massive amount of missiles that you would drop, not in a single ship. I suppose that this wasn't to be used in a bigger scale, in an enemy formation that was more than that. But nonetheless, let's go back to the setup that I created using my own Command Modern Operations copy and using the mission editor. You recognize all these buttons. I of course, full disclosure, this is just a scenario that I edited, and I just created it, so there's no surprises here. This is the initial run of it. So you see I have a flight of reconnaissance aircraft who just turned the radars on and spotted this. Of course, I know, because I placed it there, I know that that's a Ticonderoga class ship that has very, very nice anti-missile capabilities. So I'm going to just mark it as a hostile. And then we have these guys, which are the electronic warfare aircraft, and they're going to be jamming or trying to jam the enemy ship. So let me run this for a little while. Let's gonna accelerate the progress, and I just want to make sure that this flight 22 reaches nearby the target. If you could see the formation of these aircraft that are keeping their formation. Oh, my TAC view is a bit slow today, I don't know why. But if you zoom in, you will see that they are keeping, at least this flight, are trying their best to keep the formation. So what I did, I edited the formation itself, like the bearings, which I think I didn't do it right. And then I adjusted the altitudes of each different aircraft. So that being said, I do believe that we're in now for an attack run. So I'm going to pause this. As you can see, the Tu-22's Of course, the reconnaissance aircraft cannot do anything. They will have to just close in, but it could be like a murder if we keep them anything less than 40 miles. It is a very high risk operation, so I'm gonna just keep them there, just for the purposes of this demonstration. Let's just go with the attack run. So I have it in pause so we can perform all the activities simultaneously. I'm gonna have this guy to change course right there. I'm gonna have this flight change course right there, and then these guys are going to follow this path for the attack if I need a second wave, quote unquote. I'm air quoting here because this is not a wave, this is just a meager amount of anything. So let's just activate that. So right now this Ticonderoga is aware that something is going on, something is coming through that side possibly. We'll just keep an eye on it, and then we're going to have our main attack go live. I don't want to accelerate more than 5 because things do go crazy after 5, for me at least. We're going to stop right there. So first thing, we're going to activate the radar for the attacking aircraft. Let's go to active. Let's go to active. Run it for a little second just to make sure that the radars are activated and working. You see the range rings for the radar. We're all okay. We're a bit diverging on the distances, but that's a bit of a risk. We should slow down this flight somehow, but I don't want to disturb what is already happening. So let's just make our attack run. So I'm going to press Shift F1, which is for manual attack, and I am sorry that I have to do this one by one. I'm sure that there is an option in command to do it, like get this flight to shoot all its weapons at the same time, but this is something that I don't know how to do. Even after 500 hours of command play. This is one of the problems of this game, that you try to play so many different scenarios that you become kind of non-proficient in other things. I mean, you have touched a lot of topics, but never became a specialist on anything. And of course, let's turn on electronic warfare. And let's see our missile volley. I just slowed it down to real time, just to see how compact. You see the formation is somehow disturbed. Except for this. Look at that. This is working now. The altitudes are okay. And they are starting to fire their jamming weapons. And the missiles are slightly not at the same distance from target, which could be a problem. Because again, the Ticonderoga is a beast. It can take anything. As far as it doesn't get hit, it is going to be very problematic. So let's hope for the best. So you see the missiles right now, they're on an altitude of 74,000 feet, which is a lot. But they're about to go autonomous now. We see the Ticonderoga is kind of maneuvering right now. If we could have sneaked in a formation of Tu-22s, now that this Ticonderoga is busy, it would be optimal. The appearance of another volley from another direction would be devastating. But still, we have 16 missiles on their way. That's a lot of money, by the way, guys. We're going to increase. You see missiles are starting to fire. They are attempting to take down our volley. And they are succeeding. I just keep it at 1, just for the fun. One of my favorite things is to see how many missiles out of the body survive and are kept in the air. So Ticonderoga is kind of point defenses. There we go. Shooting there. Wow, that missile missed it. Awesome. 1 down, we're down to 3. 1 more down, point defenses. Oh! Well, that's pretty much aligned. This was a bit more kind of nail biting than the previous ones, but you know, we still have 2 missiles on flight, and it was a nice attack. So, of course, these tactics could have been employed better if I could have followed the geometry and slowed down one of the flights so the missiles come to the ship at the same time. But basically, what a nice framework to have, you know, an attack profile, and also to take into consideration that, well, the more missiles that you drop, of course, the better. That has been known ever since, you know, the kamikaze attacks in the Pacific in the 1940s. So this is all I have. I just wanted to share it with you. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you around. Bye bye.